Okay, so this is only episode 2 of Dorohedoro, and in episode 2 we saw an eyeball actually being smushed, a squid man drooling in alcohol, and then let me get this straight, humans that were turned into mushrooms being devoured by the villains. Oh boy. Stay tuned. What is going on, guys? My name is DJ Milez, and I'm here to review the latest episode of Dorohedoro. This is episode 2 in the bag, and before we begin with this episode, if you can go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel for more anime content. And now let's go ahead and talk about this episode because, man, this show, last week I mentioned how, okay, it's a little bit gory, it might be a little hard to muster for some people. You know, back in the day when I used to watch the Saw films, I really patted myself for just knowing, okay, if I can see Saw, I can probably see anything gory. When I'm just watching only episode 2 of Dorohedoro, my stomach has twisted and turned more times than I can count. And like I mentioned in the beginning of this review, I mean, I've seen eyeballs smushed plenty of times. I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat, but geez, wow, they just had to do like a real emphasis on the goo sticking out on that eyeball. And then we see people turned into mushrooms. To be fair, Shin and Noi didn't know they were going to eat a plate full of mushrooms that were humans, and we'll get to them in a second, but just seeing that act or just knowing what the mushrooms were is just kind of gross. And then the Squid Man, who just drooling nonstop, which Squid Man's like, oh my god, what happened to your face? And Cayman's like, my boy, what the hell happened to your face? Instead of him simply saying, oh, I'm just a Squid Man and this is just what it is because this is the world that we're in Dorohedoro, so just kind of take it for what you will. No, he's like, oh, my face looked like this because my face was used as practice for 3 years by who knows who. And oh my god, and then he had to just go around left, right, left with the saliva coming out, and then the way it was drooping onto the alcoholic beverage that Cayman was going to devour. I'm just like, okay, people, this is only episode 2 of Dorohedoro. I think the real question for a lot of anime YouTubers that is going to be reviewing this show, and this is my shout and plug to all of you guys reviewing this show alongside me, how long can you muster what you're watching? Because this show definitely tested my patience, and I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, so I like it, but I hate it. And it's really fascinating, but it's really outrageous with how disgusting and absurd they want to get with it. What was the creator thinking? Someone in the comment section in my last episode review was saying, oh yeah, the creator was a female. And I'm like, wow, what psychedelic trip did she take? Because I think I'm going to see a theme of mushrooms taking over this show. And let's just kind of talk about the villain for a second, or the main honcho. And that is N. He's the big bad. We saw him last week, but we see him this week particularly interested in Ibizu's magic. And they want to find out, okay, how did Ibizu, specializing in lizard magic, I think that's what they said, so someone correct me if I get that wrong. And I want to hunt down the person who made Cayman the person that he is, because Cayman is immune to magic, and the big bad and his assistants, well, they all specialize in it. So Cayman is a big threat, and of course N sends Shin and Noi to go out and get Cayman and Nikaido to put an end to their days. And let's actually talk about the character introductions of Shin and Noi, which I really like. They have a student-teacher relationship here. It's fun, it's playful, but what they do is anything but. So in the opening moments of this episode, we see Shin and Noi bashing in the heads of weaker sorcerers, and then they come across the boss, who is an elderly. And I do like Shin's persona in this. He's like, listen, old man, I don't want to use my magic because it's kind of like a bully taking on a little kid. It's not fair. Let's just do this mano a mano. And the old man's like, screw that, let's go. Then we see how Shin and Noi comes out on top because Noi has some weak plastic bags where she's like, see boss, see Shin, this isn't so bad. I told you these bags are okay. And then of course when she celebrates, the bag rips apart. We see the elderly man's and blood is everywhere, and I'm like, okay, this is the world of Dorohedoro. But we learn to find out that Shin's sorcerer magic stems from the fact that his magic can slice anything into pieces while they are still alive. And oh man, can you imagine being chopped up in half and then feeling every part of that and still living the day until the person who casts the magic upon you tells you, okay, now I'm gonna get rid of you. Quite some grueling stuff here. Let's go ahead and talk about Fujita. and Ibizu for a second because Fujita, they have to get ready for this grand dinner with the boss. So they have to find something nice to wear for the occasion. And then, of course, we see Ibizu acting a little delirious because I don't know about you. I guess if my face was actually ripped off from my body, I would be a little delusional as well. So, and then for the first time, we see Shin, Noi, Ibizu, and Fujita meeting up for dinner to interact with the boss. And then while they're having a lovely dinner, this is, of course, when En tells Shin and Noi to go after Cayman and Nikaido. And then, of course, we see two people who is good with sorcery magic that can transform themselves into whatever they want. In this case, we see Nikaido and Cayman here. They get eliminated pretty quickly. And then I've also come to realize that the women in this show are Amazon women. They are just huge. And they also got some big, well, you guys can fill in the rest here, but wow, I can only imagine Nikaido and Noi. Those are some Amazon-sized women that I don't know if I would really want to interact with in the future because they both look like they can just kick my ass and rip my head into two. And with that said, we do see Nikaido kicking some ass. In the pilot episode, it seemed like she was relying on Cayman, so I'm actually really happy to see she can come into her own and she can actually protect herself from a group of spineless thugs trying to steal whatever she had in the bag, which is the name of the episode. And what was in the bag? Probably the most enjoyable and pleasant thing in this episode. Mochi and some other food that I forgot, but it looked really amazing when Nikaido and Cayman were having that meal. The episode ends where Nikaido and Cayman run into a man called the Needle, where his sorcery magic, he inserts all the needles into people's faces and then can transform them into whatever they want to be. Quickly, we see Cayman just devour the guy, and then we see Cayman's inner person come out and ask him, hey, you're not the one who laid this curse upon me. And as Cayman was about to kill the Needle, Nikaido comes and interrupts, and he's like, hey, like, let me read your fortune. And then the episode wraps up with him saying, there's going to be someone named the Heart that's going to come after you, and my fortune telling is pretty spot on, but it looks like this guy named the Heart is going to cause you some trouble, so please look out for yourselves. And then that's where we go with this episode. So the CGI still spotty. It's still rough around the edges. Last week where I was thinking, oh, it might be just part of the aesthetic of the show and what they kind of want to engulf us in this world of the whole and all that stuff. I'm still teetering on, I'm seeing more of it and I'm going to be forgiving. And then by the end of this episode, I'm like, but it still looks a little iffy and it just looks like a lot of work needs to be done for this show. I wonder if this show had an extra 6 months of polish, if it would really look like this, or is this really the style they just want to convey to us? It's very hit or miss for me. I'm personally not a fan of it. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? To all my anime YouTubers out there reviewing this show, how much can you muster? Because it seems like this is going to be the test going forward with Dorohedoro. How much can I muster the goriness and the things that they present to us in every episode? But guys, this was episode 2 in the bag. My name is DJ Milez. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more anime content, and as I always say, to be continued, take care.